I saw the light, man, and I really thought I was done.
Is that right?
I just prayed a lot, and I felt super peaceful.
Sundance, I mean, let's get right into it. Take me back to right before the accident. How did the day start for you?
Well, I was camping up by myself in Maydale, Texas, and I was waiting for my 17-year-old and 10-year-old to drive up to meet me for the weekend. We were going to camp. My son had let me know that morning that he was accepted into Texas A&M for the um, architectural engineering program, and so I was really excited to be able to spend some time with them.
Sure.
And I was just hanging out by myself. I'd woke up, I'd played my guitar a little bit in the tent, kind of tidied up camp a little bit, and then planned on loading my Jeep and going riding back on the property to see what was going on back there.
But then you're hunting by yourself, right? You go to reach inside your truck and your gun goes off. I mean, what was your initial reaction?
Well, what happened was I was loading my Jeep, and the last thing I had to get was my backpack and my rifle. And so I put my rifle in the Jeep, and I went back for my backpack and noticed that I had left my 22 revolver. It's an old school revolver, just like you would see in a Western movie.
Uh-huh.
And I grabbed it and the backpack, and I went to put them inside of my Jeep. And I just remember the flash, the gunpowder, and then I was kind of in shock. I didn't really understand what had happened,
Sure.
and the gun had slid out of the holster that it was in. When it fell out of the holster, it hit the footstep in my Jeep Wrangler, my '99 Wrangler, and shot me
Mm.
in the stomach.
Wow.
And it happened so fast I couldn't really comprehend what was going on.
Yeah.
And so I reached my hand to my stomach to see what was happening, and I had noticed that blood was coming through each of the corners of my fingers. And so I reached my hand into my pocket to call 911 and realized I didn't have my phone, and my pockets were already full of blood in my blue
Wow.
jeans. Um, and so I didn't know what to do. I kind of panicked. Uh, I just ran from my property out to the highway through the gate access. I jumped the gate, and I ran out to the highway, and I was trying to hold the blood in and trying to keep myself from bleeding out. And
Mm.
I was trying to flag down some vehicles to help me to call 911 because I was so flustered I couldn't find my phone. About a dozen cars went by, no one would stop, and finally a gentleman came back, and I was so glad to see him. And he called 911 and helped me to calm down a little bit, and they helped me to keep pressure on the blood on the wound, the
Oh, right.
gunshot. And at that point, I was kind of going numb in my feet and stuff, and turning white. I'd lost a lot of blood. The ambulance came. I remember I was never so happy to be put on a stretcher in my life, man.
I bet.
And when they put me in there, I was just praying to God and begging them to keep me alive. I told them I had a lot to live for. I didn't want to die, and I really thought I was going to die. I was very afraid, and they took me to Rusk, Texas, and put me on a helicopter from the Rusk Sheriff Department and flew me to UT Tyler in Tyler, Texas.
Hmm.
And I really want to talk in detail about this when I have time. But on that flight, on that helicopter, I saw the light, man, and I really thought I was done.
Is that right?
Uh, I just prayed a lot, and I felt super peaceful because I knew that in my spirit I arrived to a spot where I felt super confident that my next walk in the afterlife would be a glorious one. So it was a weird thing, man, because I had come to
Yeah.
terms. I pretty much knew that I was dead. I didn't think I was going to live past this. I thought how senseless that I was going to die this way from a freak accident like this. And I just thought I wouldn't see my family again. As I laid in that plane, a helicopter, I was getting a drip from something. I later found out it was fentanyl, I believe. And I remember just being in the helicopter, and I don't remember anything. I couldn't hear the helicopter. I couldn't hear the medic. I was surrounded by my children, and they were holding hands and smiling. And
Wow.
that's it, man.
Ooh. I gotta tell you, this sounds, hearing you tell this story, it's way more harrowing than I imagined it to be already, you know? And I mean, it sounds like you were in fight or flight mode when you realized that you were bleeding, but you're saying that you were in the helicopter and you really thought you were gonna die at that point.
I was pretty sure I was going to die.
Wow.
I just couldn't believe that my life was going to end so pointlessly. And I just, really, I
I'm
just prayed for my family. I prayed to the Lord to accept me into heaven. And then I just prayed prosperity for my children.
Yeah.
I prayed for the people that were helping me, that they would also be welcomed with prosperity in their lives, no matter what happened to me. And once we landed at UT and they took me into the emergency room, man, it was really an outer body experience. I was on some different medications that I would never want to do again, but
Mm,
it was such a strange thing because I was coherent with everything that was going on, but
yeah.
I was not present at the same time. I really can't explain it. It's something I've just never experienced in my life. Um,
Literally out of body. It sounds like you could see yourself in the situation, right? But you weren't all there either.
yeah, I didn't really know what was going on,
Yeah.
and I just remember they wheeled me in there, and I remember this gentleman coming, standing next to me while I was in the trauma center, and we prayed together.
Misty, what's it like for you to sit here now and hear him kind of relive that?
I haven't really talked to
I
anybody
was gonna
about
say
it.
this is the first in detail I'm pretty much hearing because he just not got out of bed yesterday for a little bit, and then
Okay.
again today because his stomach's still really swollen. So just hearing more because like I had thought he reached for it, so to actually find out what happened,
Mm,
I know there's parts he told me he did have duct tape. He put duct tape on it prior to jumping that
Well, I
fence.
didn't. Well, once I realized I was shot, I didn't know what to do,
sure.
and I had a roll of duct tape that was sitting in the back of my Wrangler, and just kind of ripped it off and started patching the hole. And I think, man, I really think that gave me just enough time to get out there
To
to
get out there. Yeah.
where they could come and pack it and help me keep me from bleeding out. Man, I was bleeding a lot.
Right.
Um, I didn't feel anything when I was shot either. It was I didn't feel anything, man. I
No,
didn't know.
you didn't feel any pain?
I didn't feel any pain, man. I didn't feel
Wow.
anything. I didn't feel anything.
Yeah.
The only reason I knew that it happened was it happened so quickly. I was putting everything in the door, and then I was shot. I mean, it was
Mm,
literally that fast.
yeah.
And I don't know if I told myself, and I've told everybody, I've done this a million times, and I could probably do it a million more times, and it would never happen this way.
Sure. Sure.
That pistol, the revolver had to come out of that. It was in a. I've got the case actually, but it didn't have any way to fasten it in, and so it just slid out.
Oh, it slid out.
And
I
it
see.
just slid out in the perfect way where it hit the
It
side of
landed
my
on the.
Jeep. It hit and it fired. Yeah, it shot me in the stomach,
No,
man.
that's a freak accident. That's what we call a freak accident, right?
Yeah, so I mean, hey, dude, I've been hunting with rifles, and I've been in the hunting experience since I was 8 or 9 years old. I remember harvesting my first animal whenever I was 10 in Magnolia, Texas, and cleaning it with a knife and everything myself.
Right.
So I've really been through all of this for a long time, and I've understood the safety and the dangers of owning firearms and everything, man. And I just could not believe that it happened. And when it did happen, I didn't know. I was alone. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I almost was in disbelief myself that it happened to me. I just, yeah, like you said, fight or flight, man. I really didn't know what to do, man. I ran out to the street hoping that someone would come along. I was in Maydale, which is a very small town off of Highway 84 in between Palestine, Texas, and Rust.
Uh-huh.
And there's just really not a lot out there. And so if you get in trouble out there, and this was absolutely the worst case scenario for me,
Yeah, of course.
but thankfully, man, I had, the Lord was looking out for me, and we had some
Got some guardian angels, brother, for
yeah, man.
sure. For sure.
Yeah. We
I
had some
mean,
wonderful people stop and help me.
absolutely. Misty, how did you find out that Sundance had accidentally been shot?
Well, it's really crazy. I was on my way to a restaurant to meet my daughter. We were getting food for my son to celebrate his acceptance letter. He called me on the way. It was 2:49, And at 3:21, I got a phone call from a paramedic.
Oh my
And
God.
I'm sorry, I have to also tell you. So the reason it took so long to get to her is because I was freaking out so much when I was telling these people to call my wife. I mean, I really thought I was dead, and the only thing I wanted to do was talk to her.
Oh,
He's still
man.
And I gave him my phone number. I was giving him my number because I didn't know what was going on. They're like, she's not answering. I was like, oh my God, you know.
Call
And
my
finally,
wife Misty. Like, what's her number?
yeah, finally one of the guys repeated the number back to me. They go, man, we've called, no one's answering. They told me the number. I said, oh my God, that's my number. And I
Oh,
finally gave them the right number, and they were able to get in touch with her. And
I honestly almost didn't answer the phone call because if it's not saved and if it's someone's number, I think it's like a show advanced production. I'll let it go to voicemail.
of course.
I just happened to answer it. And I thought it was a joke at first. He just introduced himself and he told me he was with my husband and he had been shot. Well, I knew he was by himself at the ranch. So I just assumed it was a joke. And then I could faintly hear him saying, I love you, Misty. I love you, Misty. And then that paramedic told me they're having a life flight and that we needed to get to Tyler. And Tyler was 3 hours away from us. So then I had to go scramble to get all, I had kids, we have 3 kids and they were all in school to get them out of school. So we didn't get out of there almost 5 o'clock. And then it was a 3-hour trip. And the not knowing, it was what was terrifying until I finally did text the paramedic back to ask if there's any updates because I just knew he was shot in the stomach and they were life flighting him. So I had little to go on. And he finally texted me back and let me know they got him stable for the airlift, which made me feel a little better. Like I said, it was a dreary 3-hour drive.
I can imagine.
We didn't drive. Our best friends drove us. I couldn't drive.
Yeah.
And then finally, the trauma doctor probably called about an hour and a half into it and just let me know that all vital organs were missed. And it's just crazy, especially when you look at where you're shot in the shirt. Yeah. It just missed everything. And of course, he was mad at me because what post went viral, because the surgeon was like, it was better that he was on the bigger side because it ended up, when it went in, it went up into his fatty tissues. And that's where the bullet is lodged into the tissue. So it didn't allow it to go up or move. But 1 centimeter up or down, it would have been a completely different outcome.
I mean, you're touching on it a little bit, but let me just ask more direct. How lucky did the doctors say you were, Sundance?
Well, it's lodged in between my heart and my lung. And it's in the chest cavity. And if it would have went, one way, left or right, man, who knows if I'm even here, to be honest with you. But man, I've really been through it these last couple of years. We won The Voice. We were touring. COVID hit, and like everyone else, we were deemed non-essential. My parents both died during this time. My career definitely hit the dirt. I was just in the worst spot of my life. I hit rock bottom, brother, and I was done. And I had given up on everything, man. And luckily, I had an event in my life. My mother was in hospice, and she had told me in her deathbed that she wanted me to be sober for my family, and that was her wish. And I honor her every day. I'm 2 years free from alcohol now.
Wow.
My life has really changed. I try to live with and walk with a good spirit and a big heart, and I just want to be friends and love everyone that I can and show as much love as I can. And man, I just knew, I said, man, please, this can't be the time for me to go. I just feel like I'm getting things together.
Right.
And I feel like the Lord has really become a part of my life. And, I'm not one of those people that go to church regularly or anything like that. The relationship that I have is between He and I, and it's internal and spiritual. So I don't pretend to be something I'm not, man. I'm the perfect sinner. I'll be the first to tell you that. I do a lot of things that are wrong and probably will for the rest of my life. That's just the way I am, but
you're human.
Yeah, but I'm human, man. But I've come to accept and learn to love myself again. And that's the most important thing of this whole journey. And so.
Listen, someone up there was saying, you can still have more time down here. They're like, it's not time yet. So I have to imagine, reflecting on this incident, you must have an entirely new outlook on life too.
Man, I'm working on a record right now. It's called The Road to Redemption. And I'm really thankful to be able to tell my story. And I think that I've got a lot to talk about, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah.
I'm really thankful that the Lord has given me an opportunity to go through this. And, I tell you, man, getting shot in the stomach is one hell of a promotion. It's a
Right,
tough way to
right.
get back out into the spotlight, but I can be honest and tell you right now, I sure am glad that I'm talking to you today.
I agree. Likewise. I mean,
Thank you, man.
do you feel like this will affect your music?
Well, man, I really think that this probably affects everything for the rest of my
Sure.
life.
We're gonna get a second opinion though, because where it's lodged at, and since he has, quit drinking, he's steadily losing weight. He's lost over 100 pounds.
Wow.
160 actually.
And so
Ha!
I'm just worried,
Go
like,
on.
what happens if it loosens up? And because he is a power vocalist, he uses his stomach,
His core,
to
yeah.
sing. And I don't want him out on the road, just and be singing in this.
Hey, man, look, here's what I'm going to tell her and you and everybody watching.
Yeah.
Sundance Head, we'll be on the road. We're going to perform. And guess what? I'm playing with house money right now.
Okay. I love it. It's good to see you smile too, brother. It really is. Yeah, I love that. You have to take this out into the world, You're here for a reason.
Absolutely, man.
May I ask, is the bullet still lodged inside, or did they?
Yeah, I still have it, man. It's here. They decided to leave it in. They said it would have been too invasive to try to remove it.
Okay.
And
is it possible to see the wound, or it's up to you? Can we see the wound?
I mean, I could show it to you.
It's
Yeah,
up
I
to
don't. You want to see it, man?
Yeah, let's see it.
I gotta warn you guys. I just started working out.
No, you're good.
All right, man. Let's see here.
Just right here.
Okay, wow.
His stomach's still really swollen. So it went in right
Whoa.
his navel, but the bullets up here went in and up.
And hand it up.
That is so gnarly. I'm not gonna lie, but wow.
Hey, man, look.
A miracle.
Picture of the shirt that he had on were crazy.
Hey, man, now I can tell people I shot a man and I was shot.
Yeah. Wait, I have a dumb question. Is that wound expected to close up pretty, like heal almost fully?
Well, they really don't know, man. About as much as what I do know, the extent of this whole thing right now is that today I'm alive.
Yeah.
Hopefully my body doesn't reject this and throw me into sepsis or give me some form of cancer from the lead. I have no idea what's going to happen. All I know is I woke up today and I brushed my teeth, and I thank the Lord that I have an opportunity to see my beautiful wife, talk to you, and play my guitar. And I can't wait for my kids to get home from school so we can spend some time together. And, everything I really appreciated everything already, because I feel like I was having a second opportunity to live as an adult without a dependency on a chemical. It was, I drank alcohol for every day of my life pretty much since I was very young. And so I didn't know what it was like to live as an adult without the presence of alcohol. And once I had experienced that freedom, I knew I could never go back. And it really opened my eyes to a lot of things. And, man, I'm 46 years old and I've done and seen so many things. I've lived 1,000 lifetimes, and I feel like these last 2 years being sober in mind and spirit has really been the longest part of my life. Just these last 2 years have taken so long because I really learned to enjoy every moment.
Yes.
And so I don't know what my health is going to do. I just know I trust in the Lord's will. I really believe that it's the Lord's will that I'm back out in the spotlight. Amen. I think He's given me a wonderful opportunity because He thinks that I have something to say that people need to hear. So
that's right.
I keep that in mind.
You're here for a reason. That's for damn sure. Hey, wrapping things up here, I'm just curious, Sundance, have any of the voice coaches reached out, or have you heard from any fellow contestants since the news?
Yeah, I've heard from a lot of people.
I think Blake reached out.
I'm not sure really. I haven't really been on social media that much to check. I'm sorry if I haven't responded to everybody. I haven't really got on there other than to make a video yesterday, just letting people know that I'm still alive. And I plan on making 2 more videos to kind of go through this whole thing step by step to let people know. But I'm here to write songs and play music, and I'm really thankful to be alive, to be honest with you. And I really don't know what else to say. It's just such an amazing thing. I really can't. I just kind of looked at myself in the mirror just a minute ago saying, dude, you were just gut shot. You were gut shot 3 days ago. You've it's just such an incredible thing, man. The highs and the lows that I've been through in the last decade are just remarkable. And if I met someone on the street and they didn't know me and I was trying to tell them the things that I've been through, I don't think that they would believe
They
me.
believe you, yeah. No, it's amazing that you're even sitting down talking with us right now. That's for damn sure, for sure. But I'm grateful you are.
Lots of luncheon and
Right.
bandages right now.
Before we go, my producers are asking if it's possible maybe to show us the shirt that you were shot in, if you do have that.
I do have it, man. I've been trying to fool everybody, but I can't see without glasses, so let me put them on here.
Okay, so this is the shirt you were wearing when you got shot.
Yeah, this was it. I just put on my boots and jeans.
I'm gonna get a frame for him.
And there's the bullet hole shot
right
around the chest.
Let me put my hands so you can see.
Yeah, let's see. Wow. Are we keeping the shirt forever as a reminder? Or are you gonna get rid of it?
Man, you know what? I think I was gonna keep it, and I'm just gonna keep on wearing it, man, because it's my lucky shirt.
It is, isn't it? You're a lucky guy.
Shirt, man.
You're a lucky guy, and you have a beautiful life that's left to live. So I'm gonna let you go on and live it then. And I can't wait to see and hear what you do next, for sure.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you. I want to thank everyone for praying for me and my family. It really did help, and I just look forward to seeing you on the road. Come and see us. I think if you see our show, it'll change your life, and we'll be family. And also, man, if you're out there and you need help personally and you're struggling, whether it might be a dependency or you just might have problems in your life and you feel like you're alone, you're not, man. Go find someone to talk to and try to find someone that you can speak your mind to that'll listen to you, man. It helps to have a friend in this world. And if you need someone, you can't find anybody, I'll be there for you.